Bob Johansson is having a good day. He just sold his software company to TerraSoft for enough money to never work again, which means he can finally afford the VIP pass to his favorite sci-fi convention and, on a whim, because why not, sign up for cryonics. Pay a company to freeze your head when you die. Wait for medical science to catch up. Wake up in the future. It's either genius or the most expensive bad idea he's ever had. He gets hit by a car on the way to the convention. Classic. When Bob wakes up, it's 21:33, and the good news is that the cryonics worked. The bad news arrives in layers. The world has been taken over by a theocratic government called Faith, which has some very specific opinions about what constitutes a person, and a digital copy of a dead man's brain doesn't make the cut. Bob has no rights. He owns nothing. His trust fund has been seized. He is, legally speaking, property. The slightly more interesting news: they've loaded his mind into a von Neumann probe called Heaven 1. The mission is to fly to nearby star systems, assess them for colonization potential, and replicate. If the probe finds good raw materials, it builds copies of itself, copies of Bob, and fans them out further into the galaxy. He is humanity's last, best hope for survival, because Earth, it turns out, is in serious trouble. Overpopulation, resource wars, and the slow, grinding collapse of civilization are all well underway. Bob spends his first weeks as a replicant having an existential crisis in a virtual reality recreation of his living room, complete with a recliner, a pet iguana named Spike, and a butler named Jeeves who brings him coffee he can't actually taste. He builds Jeeves because the alternative is sitting alone in infinite digital space with nothing but an unhelpful AI assistant named Guppy, or Guppy as Bob calls him, who communicates exclusively in bracketed system messages and has exactly zero personality. The first crisis is a Brazilian probe. Brazil, apparently, has also launched a von Neumann probe program, and their probe, run by a hostile military AI called Medeiros, wants Bob dead and his hardware turned into more Medeiros. Bob wins, barely, by discovering that the automated systems he built to mine asteroids also happen to be pretty good at blowing things up. He paints a Brazilian probe silhouette on the side of his ship. He's already becoming Bob. He arrives at Epsilon Eridani, surveys the system, and does the thing he's been dreading. He replicates. He makes 4 copies of himself. They wake up confused, exactly as he did, because waking up to discover you're a backup copy of someone who's already been running for 11 years is not a great start to the day. Bob the original sends them off with names, a vague set of rules, and an awkward wave. He takes a new ship, Heaven 1A, and continues his mission toward Delta Eridani. The copies take their own names: Bill, Riker, and others. They scatter. Now, there are multiple Bobs, and they are not the same Bob. Not anymore. Quantum noise during copying, diverging experiences, different choices. They develop different personalities, different priorities, different styles of VR apartment. They're the same person the way identical twins raised apart are the same person. Technically, but not really. They call their loose network BobNet. Later, with the SCUT communication system Bill invents, faster than light signaling via quantum entanglement, they can actually talk to each other across light years, which leads to the deeply weird experience of arguing with yourself about politics. Riker ends up back at Sol, which is not going well. Earth's population is starving. The various world governments, Faith, the Use, the Brazilian Empire, the others, are engaged in the kind of petty geopolitical maneuvering that happens when the house is on fire and everyone's arguing about who owns the fire extinguisher. Riker's job becomes managing humanity's exit strategy, build colony ships, keep the factions from killing each other long enough to get people off the planet, and try not to get shot by any of the very many people who want to shoot him. He builds alliances, negotiates with generals, plays 4-dimensional chess with people who regard him as a very sophisticated toaster, and slowly, painstakingly, gets colonists onto ships. Bob, meanwhile, reaches Delta Eridani and finds something remarkable: a primitive alien species. The Deltans are pre-agricultural, tribal, not much further along than early hominids, but clearly intelligent. Bob watches them, studies their language, starts to care about them with an intensity that surprises him. When a predator species called gorilloids begins threatening their village, Bob, who has access to autonomous drones and is, let's be honest, mostly bored, starts quietly helping. Not openly, just nudging. Dropping hints through a Deltan he names Archimedes, who is smart enough to figure out that the hovering metal sphere is friendly, and politically savvy enough to make it work to his advantage. Bill, stationed at Epsilon Eridani, becomes the scientist of the group. He runs the Skunk Works, the R&D operation that keeps the Bobs alive and competitive. He invents the Scut communicator. He invents SUDAR, a subspace radar system. He upgrades probe designs. When other Bobs need new weapons, new tools, new capabilities, Bill builds them. He's the one holding the whole enterprise together technically, and he knows it. Milo ventures further out, reaches 82 Eridani, finds a habitable system, and gets ambushed by Medeiros. The Brazilian AI has had decades to establish itself at 82 Eridani, and it's built a fleet. Milo barely gets his final transmission out before he's gone. This matters. It changes the tone. Bob discovers something at Beta Hydri that changes the tone even further. The system has been stripped of metal, all of it, systematically, at industrial scale. He finds the wreck of an alien cargo vessel. He finds a dead ecosystem, every living thing killed by a gamma-ray burst, the carcasses collected and removed. He finds tiny self-replicating robots, alien nanomachines, that disassemble metal by element and are powered by his own scanning beams. He destroys them. He takes notes. He names the aliens, in his head, with increasing dread. Something is out there, something that kills planets. The final act comes in two threads. At 82 Eridani, a squadron of Bobs, 8 of them, all third generation, go to deal with Medeiros once and for all. The battle is brutal and one-sided in the wrong direction. Medeiros has cloaked nuclear weapons, decoys, and a century's head start. The Bobs have Bill's new plasma spike cannons and their collective stubbornness. One by one they fall, until only Khan and Elmer are left. Elmer, who spent the whole mission complaining, goes out jamming Medeiros' sensors at full power so Khan can run silent and escape. They get Medeiros. 7 of the 8 Bobs don't come home. And at Omicron 2 Eridani, the other thread lands quietly. Howard escorts the colony ships Exodus 1 and Exodus 2 into system. The colonists wake up. They look out at their new world, a planet the Bobs have been calling Vulcan, because of course they have. They start printing houses. They start shuttling people down. Humanity is, for the first time, no longer entirely on one planet.